Sneak back around to my friends. He gets low and tries to find a shadow to sneak like up and back around. I don't this like it's tough because if I go any lower I will be there's a possibility I will be cut off from Inara and Sherrilyn because of like that one room being kind of like up there by itself. I'll try and jump down and scramble across the bridge before they can get out to
Yeah,
see
roll me an
me.
athletics check.
Oh, shit.
You hear the whistling get louder. You hear a loud gate mechanism from further south.
Oh, that's an 18 minus 1, 17.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you're able to very deftly and nimbly maneuver through. As you hear this whistling get louder coming from the south of this large dense space, you are able to maneuver up the rocks. You hear a light snoring of your two friends who you see are now back to back, kind of squeltered together in the center of this large queen bed. You have a couple moments to prepare here as the whistling gets louder and louder. What would you like to do?
I think I'll have to wake my friends up, unfortunately. I just I'm like hunching down, and I just sort of move over to the bed and sort of like slap my hand on it next to them, kind of like, hey, there's whistling. Someone is
What?
coming up from. Someone's coming.
I thought there was no one left. She's like whiny. This has not been enough.
There's a gate to the south. Someone's whistling their way up through here, and which seems like if they knew the bone cruncher was around, they wouldn't be doing that. So that's interesting, you know.
You hear the whistle stop and is replaced by a shrill, loud scream in a young woman's voice.
I think she just found the rest of her group.
Or she found her pet bone breaker.
Sherrilyn rolls out of bed, immediately picks up her weapon.
Wait, we don't know that we must kill this person. Why don't I go take a look?
Kill them.
Yeah, go do a sneak. See if they're mourning the dead people or the dead bone crusher.
I can do that. And she'll very nimbly, step away.
She's whispering to Plato. And if it is that she is mourning her compatriots, then we will apprehend her, not kill her.
Yes, I wasn't going to kill her. Did you?
No, but you guys are always accusing me of trying to kill people and set fire to places.
I'm glad you're getting out ahead of it. We won't kill her.
So stealth check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that was a 15 on the die, plus 5, so unnatural 20.
Yeah, you're easily able to blend in with this cave stone as you saunter across. From the top of the bridge here, as you lean back against the open way to these dens, you can see her pretty clearly. It is a young tabaxi woman, much taller ears than you have, a bright, warm smile, sandy blonde hair. She looks to be about 15, 16 years old. You can see her very bravely. Left hand is covering her mouth as she's scaling the side of this beast. As you know, the place where the beast erupted was the supply room where there were barrels of food and fresh water. And you see her picking over the food and fresh water and loading it into an empty bindle that she has along her back, poking one of the eyes out with the bindle to make sure it's really dead. And you see her very bravely collecting supplies.
Oh, okay. Inara will watch her for another moment, but then quickly back away, go back to her group, and goes, I don't think that was her pet. She just gouged one of its eyes out. But she seems to be stocking up on food and water. If we stay here,
Kingfishers.
She seemed to know exactly where she was going and what she was looking for, so I believe that might be true. However, if we just stay in here, I think she'll pass us by without noticing us. And she'll look back to Plato, unless you want to confront her.
We have to interrogate her. She exchanges glances with Plato.
It might be our only chance to get one of them alone. That is true.
Do we have the authority to do this? And she looks to you, We were just warned not to overstep.
He's like a prince of this goddamn country.
My country does not have princes anymore. It might be worth trying to communicate with her, but I should not do it. She will recognize me, of course.
Right. I have rope.
Okay, she is a tabaxi. Why don't I try first before we resort to rope? She also looks quite young.
Oh. All right.
I mean, we know that they had messengers, right? That there were people. Maybe you can say that you were looking for that poor individual who drowned and ended up further than you meant to, if she asks.
Are you a convincing liar?
No.
I mean, goodness, I guess just say Jackson sent you.
I do look like Aoife.
I mean, we don't know
She
what
doesn't
effect
think
that will
Aoife's
have on
supposed to
them.
be here. Yeah, I don't think Aoife would be expected down here. She'll turn to
Just saying.
she'll turn to walk away, then she'll turn back to Plato. Jackson's the boy who drowned?
No, Jackson was the one who had a mean father who sailed and told something about
He's a pirate.
pirates. Yeah, no, you know what? Just
on the lift, Jackson the shoe shine. I got this. And she walks away overly confident.
We're doomed.
Yeah, you see her back as she begins to turn. She's carrying a lot more supplies than it looks like she should be able to carry. She must be stronger than she looks, as she's carrying quite a few pallets of fresh crackers and water on her back here, as she seems to be heading south again. She looks back over her shoulder kind of nervously at this large crab creature and then begins to whistle. She begins heading south.
Inara will jump down from the top of that broken bridge, intentionally making a clatter to draw that girl's attention.
Yeah, absolutely. She very quickly turns around.
You really stocked up, huh?
You see her hand very quickly go to her belt, and she pulls out a thin tube, like a reed, that looks stained brown, and she puts it to her mouth. Who are you?
Hold up both hands defensively and go, I mean no harm. I have no weapon. I was sent here by Jackson, but when I got here, that thing was munching on bodies. And I had to hide away up there. And
What?
she points to where she jumped down from. Who are you?
I'm Harlan. I'm so confused. Did you kill this thing?
Not on my own, but I helped.
You see her look at a stopwatch that she pulls up from her hip. Listen, I have to do this quickly, okay? I have to get back.
Okay, we'll get back where?
I mean, all I'm supposed to be... Who are you? What organization do you belong to? What's the password?
I belong to this organization. She just randomly encompasses the whole cave.
Can I start sneaking around? Maybe trying to get behind this person?
Plato's hand is just in his face is just in his hands.
Can I
Just
go
wanted
along
to ask what
this
happened
edge,
here.
this rocky cleft here? Could I like try and sneak around and go to the other little outlet of the cave further on?
Absolutely. You definitely can try to start sneaking around. Inara, I need you to roll me a persuasion check at disadvantage, and it's going to be an incredibly high DC. As you say, this organization, not even the name of the one that you know. Like, you know the organization that owns this place, but you didn't say the name. You just said this organization and then gestured to around you.
Gestured and like did a big arm gesture. Like,
she did admit she's not a good liar.
So
she did, and before we could reassess that, she absorbed a fact that was not actually related to our current situation and walked off.
Plato and Sherrilyn both went, ugh, when this happened.
17 plus 1 on the first roll. Hopefully I can maintain this. 19 plus 1, so 18.
Yeah, I'm sorry. An 18 is
Son of
not
a
going to
bitch.
do it. It was a very high DC because what you're saying does not line up. She's going to say, I don't know who you are, but you better stay away or they'll kill the hostages. And she's going to begin sprinting due south as fast as she can.
Yes, I'm gonna sprint. after her. How far did I get before
Yeah,
she started turning to sprint?
you got almost even with her. I'm gonna say right here. She moves fucking fast, but you aren't wearing your armor, so you could try to intercept her here.
Yes.
It's gonna be a feat of athletics, though. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
It's all right. My muscle's one of the only things I have.
Can I also give chase? I'm probably not as fast as Sherrilyn, but I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Her. Like, we'll try to corner her.
Absolutely.
18 plus 2 for a dirty 20.
Hell yeah.
This is athletics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just an 18.
That's gonna be a 24. As you watch Sherrilyn, you almost catch up to her as you run full speed, charging her. And she does a series of incredible backflips, kicking off the side of the rocks here. You almost grab her, but you see her very dexterously kick off the rock, do a backflip over you, and clear you completely. As she regains her footing, stumbles you just a bit, as you're sure you have her in your grasp. She sprints due south as she reaches the gate and gets it open just out of your reach, as she's unfortunately able to get going.
Damn it! She's got dirt on her knees and elbows as she had jumped at this person trying to catch them, and they narrowly slipped away.
Double damn it. Well, now they're going to, I don't know, tell the hostages. They're going to tell the hostages we fucked up. I hate that.
Tell the hostages? I thought they were going to kill the hostages.
No, it sounds like they're going to kill them if we get any closer, which means we're going to have to negotiate for the hostages, which I don't like, because
Who are
I
the
can think
hostages?
probably the guards they sent in, at least Venat, right? He was bleeding.
Oh, right.
There's only
We're supposed to care about
one.
that.
Hey, he's a fine fellow, Venat. He helped fight for the coup, and those are the people that we must protect, the people who put their necks out for us during that time. And that is why, very unfortunately, I might have to trade myself to the Kingfishers.
Ooh,
Absolutely
infiltration.
What? What else will they accept? My life is surely worth that of 7 gods. It's worth that of 1 god. We are all Perian citizens. If they want me, if they for some reason believe my life is worth more, I cannot deny them that.
Everyone knows the laws of blackmail. Once you hand yourself over, they're going to ask for more, and you'll be in their captivity.
It looks like they are going to try and attack the cathedral gate. Perhaps, if I am their hostage, I can speak to them about that. They'll surely try to torture me for information, and from that I can gain my own insights.
Yes, you will gain insights whilst being tortured.
I have gained them in more difficult ways. Yes, I have been tortured before, and I will be tortured again if it means I can protect the cathedral gate, if it means I can protect Perian without killing the Kingfishers for no reason, people who just want to protect the country they live in, people whose voices should be heard. And I'm angry that they think this is how they need to be listened to, but if that's the way, then that's the way, and I will meet them down here to do that.
She waves a hand dismissively. What is the password?
Why would I know the password?
I don't know. There are lots of parchments here. She's gonna return, climb back up this wood plank ramp up to where the papers were. She's gonna flip through the notebook and turn over the blueprint. She's looking for anything that would have the password on it, or what could be perceived as a password.
Inara will also take out the notebook that we took off of the drowned body and see if that has anything that could be perceived as a password.
You did a pretty thorough investigation of that before, so I'm not going to call for another roll on it, Inara. But the only thing password related is that 6 letter underline thing that hasn't come up yet. The 3 blank spots and then Zen at the end. Sherrilyn, you find nothing. Poring over the desk, what's there is there. You do find, however, 4 of those bone tokens that look very freshly carved. Some of the bone material is still coming off of it.
I feel like if we try and do a ploy now, it will be rather obvious, given,
They did not see you, and they have prisoners.
So you want me, someone who looks like, as you mentioned, a previous prince of the country, to dress up in Kingfisher armor and say what, I overpowered the 2 of you? I mean, That's flattering, Sherrilyn, but your bicep is twice the width of mine.
I can dirty myself up and dress down, as I have already. And you can dress yourself up. Perhaps do your hair a different way.
I do not know that I can dress myself up as someone else and pretend that I have taken you hostage. I do not know that I can not meet the Kingfishers as anything other than myself when I meet them for the first time. To do others seems dishonest, seems against the spirit in which we will have to negotiate with one another.
Sherrilyn takes a clump of gravel, sand, whatever the loose sediment here is, and she just drops it on his hair.
God, stop that.
She musses it up.
But why are you touching me so much? I do not like this.
Well, it has to be convincing.
What is your plan? What is your plan then?
We get in and we free the hostages.
This will only another fight. It won't work. Look, we will talk to them. We will see what they want. Perhaps we can help them with something, and if not, we trade the hostages for me. Why not? You are not a fan of me. You are trying to avoid me all day. As far as you're concerned, it will be a win-win. You get all the hostages. I get to learn more about the plans of the Kingfishers. It will be fine. I will eventually be able to escape.
I need you.
What? I will. It won't be long. It will be a good opportunity to get information.
For Diana.
How do we get you out after we exchange you for the hostages?
Yes, that is the question.
I can figure out my own way out or talk to them. Or Nori will pay them a truly exorbitant amount of money, would be probably the backup. I will fight if they try to kill me. I am not without my defenses, you know this. I can move around at will. I can affect the minds of others, even when they have physical protection. I am not without my defenses if it came to that.
Well,
The chance that you would charge in there and even one hostage would be harmed in that exchange, that the Kingfishers would be killed for that reason, it is all so senseless. I could not let that take place at the end of this.
then why don't we all be apprehended? I did say I would not like you or your family to put me in cuffs, but if these other people put me in cuffs, well, that doesn't really count, does it?
Well, I would prefer someone be able to tell Aoife or Nori of the situation, but I suppose I can always cast a sending spell if you are truly devoted to the idea of being captured alongside me.
I am truly devoted to the idea of making sure that you don't get yourself killed so you can help me find Diana.
I am no tour guide of the rinse, Sherrilyn. I don't know what you think I can do for you and Diana.
More than anyone else can, it would seem.
But if there's nothing that can be done for you and Diana,
Are we really going to have this conversation right now?
it's a conversation it seems you might need to have. This world, this place that we live in, it does not always bend to the will of even something as great as love.
Yes, exactly. You're being idyllic here and thinking that they will send their leader to you to have a heartfelt negotiation and not just throw you to a pack of hungry wolves.
We are in the heart of their operation. We are headed for their core. We approach their leader. They'll converse with me because I'm an Audavian. I am worth something to them, and I think worth more than just killing. I can be, as you said, blackmail, leverage. They want to get into the cathedral gate. Do you know who knows every entrance to the cathedral gate, Sherrilyn? Me, more than anyone.
And if they have magical means to take that information from you,
No one
that-
has more mental defenses than me. I'm a psychic, an aberrant, a mind reader, a mutant.
fine.
No dead hostages, no dead Kingfishers.
Fine, and no killing anyone. But I'm going with you. I don't want to be sat here with this dead crab thing.
Sorry, That reminds me, Inara, your samples. I hand over my many jars of goo.
Ooh.
Just, if you didn't also want to get captured alongside us.
Coming, but thank you. And she takes the goo. She'll study it a little bit, but even she can tell this is not the time.
I tried to get more and I rolled a really bad sleight of hand, so you got some cool goo, and he won't volunteer to do that next time.
So the goo is like a spectrum of orange to red. As you,
It's umber goo.
Wait, so the ethereal weapon can become any weapon that I desire.
any basic, yeah.
Big fly swatter.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm really in the Green Lantern headspace
Any
today.
mundane weapon. Yeah.
Any mundane weapon. All right. What's the thing that looks closest like a hair accessory?
You could do like a hairpin.
A kunai?
Yeah, I was going to say a hairpin. Is there something that would look like a hairpin? I could just pin my hair up and
Like a pick, like a hand pick.
yes.
It looks like looks
or
like
very small quarterstaff.
that's just a baton. That's just like a billy club. It's very
Like a
small
wand.
quarterstaff,
You could
like
definitely
for
make it a
like a
blackjack.
tech deck quarterstaff.
You can't make it smaller than its hilt, but you can definitely. Do you know what I mean? Like no matter what, you're gonna have to fit the hilt somewhere.
I have lots of hair. It will be an accessory.
Yeah, you can definitely.
Yeah, watch me do a kickflip with my ethereal weapon.
You can
It's,
definitely.
I just imagine.
Yes, it should.
If we're gonna get caught, maybe we should find something to wrap you in or dress you in. I don't know.
I'm sorry, what? You want to dress me up? Or down? I'm already dressed.
I was thinking some kind of armor or leather.
Oh.
Anything.
That would be a
Yes.
fantastic idea.
There's some suits of armor near the fighting pit.
Are they well or are they rusted? I would like to not get a rusty scrape on my arm.
Oh, they're not in great condition, but I wouldn't say they're fully tetanused out. Oh, we don't know about tetanus. I wouldn't say they'd give you the rust sickness.
All right, well, I'll see if there's any that can accommodate my... I will be right back.
The rust
I will
fever.
go assist. Out of character, I do have a question. When
Screaming
I have
rusts. Sorry. In a rainy country.
right? If a trait is once, like it says after a long rest, does that mean I can only use it like when I just wake up from a long rest or anytime?
Anytime during the day, just once per day.
Awesome. Really coming along to help Sherrilyn find something and then potentially enhance it.
She's picking up individual breastplates, holding them up to herself.
So there's no the heaviest, as established, the heaviest armor available here is just one set of chainmail. The rest of it are like leather scrap armor. Plato did look specifically for you earlier. And this is just a bunch of dead bodies you're gonna have to dig through. And Nora, you immediately recognize the scent as the same one that was on Plato.
This is what he was swimming in, she says, and wrinkles her nose.
Sherrilyn, to get the chainmail, you will have to do much the same.
Well, I have little choice, do I? So that is what we will do. We will climb into the mess of deadness and retrieve this chainmail.
How do you get it off him?
Inara will help gingerly, but she will help.
A lot of bone crunching with no liquid inside the body. It's like dried and kind of flattened as you guys maneuver the body. A lot of cracking noises.
Yes, I can dislocate his arms and such to just,
Easily done. It actually, yeah, I love that. It does just come off completely in your arm as you tear at it.
At least he doesn't have goo inside, she says, and that helps you pull the chainmail off the dismembered
No blood
appendages.
whatsoever, by the way, as you pull. Sorry to talk over you.
What? He was dead already.
I mean, there is something to be said to respecting the remains of the dead.
She goes to pull this chainmail over her head, and as she yanks it down, it's very form-fitting. And she looks down at herself, scrunches up her facial features. Well, it'll have to do.
Well, let's see what I can do. And she'll put her hands on your chest, over the
Not for the first
chainmail.
time.
Did you guys find any scraps of... Oh, never mind.
What? No, not. This isn't. Never mind. She's not going to try to defend this anymore. She puts her hands on your chest. She starts to talk in a different tongue, and as you see her hands begin to glow, the chainmail is now armor of magical strength. Can I do that?
Yeah. If you have the infusion slot open for it.
The infusion slot open for it, and
Yeah,
I was just double checking that I can apply it on chainmail specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely counts.
Awesome. So now your armor has 6 charges, and you can expend them. You can add a bonus roll to a strength check or strength saving throw equal to your intelligence modifier. Yeah, a bonus to the roll. Sorry, a bonus to the roll equal to your intelligence modifier. And if you were to be knocked prone, you can use a reaction to expend a charge to avoid being knocked prone. You've been getting knocked around a lot lately, so hopefully this will come in handy.
Does require attunement, just so you know.
Well, that won't be much of an issue.
Fortunately, I can't do anything about the smell, she says once she's done.
That's all right. I've stopped smelling it for the most part.
You've gone nose blind. You see a bit of that wax still kind of melting as it looks like someone's like put fresh acid over the face of one. As you climb out of the pit, armor on. It's going to take an hour for that armor to have that magical effect, just so you know. Do you guys want to wait another hour here? I don't actually think you've done your short rest yet. Oh, you did. I told you to roll for it. So you gotta relax for another 30 minutes no matter what here to finish that up.
True.
Look through everything on the desk, like the blueprints and the notebook.
Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to, I mean, the only downside to waiting would be that maybe they'd send someone out, or I guess, because she didn't say we'll kill the hostages right now, right? She just said if we tried to come any closer, they'd kill the hostages. So,
I have an idea.
What's up?
They came in for supplies, right? Why don't we leave some supplies by the gate? Just in case.
That would indicate that we are open to negotiation. A wonderful idea, Sherrilyn. Yes, we'll gather up a couple supplies, leave them by the gate, and take the time to do a short rest or finish the armor effect. Seems like we could do that all in sort of the space, utilizing what remains, what we need to do of our last short rest, right? Does that seem reasonable, Rob? And then if the downside being if someone does come out, right, then maybe we have to start the conversation then, but that should be okay since we're trying to talk anyway.
Yeah, no one does come out, but you do manage to gather, from the supply room back and forth, quite a bit of rations and fresh water.
So Plato's doing that, getting very sweaty, while Sherrilyn is focusing really hard on her armor, and Inara is also doing that and taking the rest of their short rest.
Doesn't take long for the armor's magical effect to take hold here, as you feel it sturdy on your body. A slight glow to it, matching Inara's hands just moments earlier. Do you all finish your short rest? A large gate, now with food and water in front of it, remains to your south. You also see in this gate, as you get closer to it for the first time, Plato, there are on both sides of this large gate, at about eye level to you, slots.
Arrow slits. For killing. They look up.
It's like an infomercial.
That are currently closed. They look
He points.
like
He points them out like it's a fun tour. Arrow slots for killing. I think they just sort of walk forward, sort of pushing the food out of the way. He says, "Hello, Kingfishers. We have come to negotiate. It's come to our attention that you have hostages."
You hear a young male voice. One of the slots slide open, and you see a small pair of blue pupils kind of stick through a Triton nose underneath. Looks young, even just on the eye line. Who are you? What is your reason for being here?
We were hired as specialists to investigate the situation here with the water, and we dispatched the large creature that seemed to have, was it that thing that slurped up your friends?
He looks down. I don't really know. I wasn't here when that happened. But there's sort of an emergency situation on. You said you're here to help with the water?
Yes, that is my speciality.
Give me just a moment. I'll be right back. He slits the eye slit.
I look over at Sherrilyn and Inara and sort of shrug, like, well, this seems to be going fine. Okay, let's see.
Don't question our luck.
No, I will not. As you'll notice, I didn't announce myself as Plato Ardavian, number one hostage.
A few moments pass. A few minutes.
Must be deep in there. Gosh, I hope he didn't get slurped up when he went to ask.
Or they're gathering their weapons so they can come out at the ready.
Well, just try
Finding
not.
their handcuffs.
I should keep the handcuffs in a more ready location if that is the case. I think if they open the arrow slits, just try and duck, I suppose. I keep my handcuffs right by the door. Easy access.
More minutes pass. And then you all begin to hear the loud tap of someone walking down the cavern floor. Slowly, the eye hole opens. You see large, narrow, bright yellow eyes, brown, scaly skin, a dragonborn. Definitely much older. She speaks with a soft, friendly voice. Welcome to the heart of the Kingfishers. You've come very far indeed. What are your names?
Sherrilyn plasters on a fake smile.
We were called in as specialists. This is, Inara. Well, by the city itself. We discovered this here. But we still think we can help.
So you navigated, let's see here, 4 tripwires, 3 magical traps and puzzles that we set up specifically to keep folks out because you're city maintenance workers. A devoted bunch, aren't you?
Yes, I really love maintenance.
He knows a lot about water and water-related issues.
I raise up my hand. My name is Plato Ardavian, and Nora and Sherrilyn are my companions.
You hear kind of like a tisk and hissing. Her eyes open pretty wide. She shuts the gate for a second. She opens it again. She has in her hand these 3 small vials of pink liquid. And she puts it through the door. Drink this and say that again.
Oh. Do you have something besides bubblegum flavor? I
don't know what that is.
Right. I look over at Inara. What is, I grab it and sort of smell it and then sort of lean towards Inara. This...
Inara will take one from you. She'll smell it, try to study its consistency. Does she recognize this substance at all?
I want to make sure they're not pulling a fast one and just getting us to drink poison, which would be a fun way to do that.
Okay. The 3 of you take from her pretty massive taloned hand. You see her hand is stained. Roll me an insight check.
That was a 4 on the die, plus 0. I don't think I get much.
Yeah, her hand seems to be multicolored as you see her present these 3 vials to you. Do you drink?
Same. It's in her nature to try and figure it out. If she couldn't see what it is or smell what it is, she's gonna see if she can figure it out by the effects.
Plato waits to see the effects on Inara just a split second before. If she does not drop dead, he will take it.
She'll drink it. Does she feel any adverse effects?
Not necessarily. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage, though.
At disadvantage, that was 12 plus 5, 17.
+5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nothing seems to happen.
She'll down it, wait a minute, her eyes darting around, and then she'll look at you and give you a smile and goes, doesn't seem to do anything bad.
My lady,
Yet.
what color panties are you wearing?
So what's we're doing an important.
Teal.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what we've proven.
Is that the truth?
I drink mine.
Yeah.
She'll go to lift up her skirt and be like, should I show you?
For the love of, but pardon us, Madam Kingfisher. We are not normally. That's probably a lie, actually. 14 Constitution 2, though.
Okay. You go dizzy just for a moment as your eyes kind of snap back in. You feel your tongue, like you really feel it in your mouth for just a second or two. And it goes down pretty smooth. It tastes, I don't know how to describe it, like bubblegum, but that doesn't exist.
Knew it.
So
I know it's bubblegum flavored.
So like kind of chalky, and very bubblegummy, but no one has any real concept for that. So
Maybe
Tastes
fruit?
like-
I don't know.
Artificial pinkness.
Sherrilyn, do you drink the potion?
She's waiting to see what happens with Plato.
Say what you said one more time for me.
My name is Plato Davrian. I am here hoping to help you with your water situation. These are my companions, Inara and Sherrilyn.
Are you knowledgeable in the school of magic water and its functioning?
Plato, show them your arm, for God's sake.
I do the finger, like I roll my, pinky, just like doing a roll into a fist. And I say, I am particularly blessed and connected to the waters of Perian. Yes.
Fixing the maintenance issue is at the top of the Kingfisher's priority list right now. I know who you are, and while I've been done no disservice, most of my comrades here believe they have in one way or another.
I have some inkling of your plans from what we saw in your larger barracks. I'm sorry for the loss of your men. The monster we encountered there was fearsome.
Is the Dragonborn deeply paying attention to Plato during this exchange?
Yeah, but again, still behind the gate, looking through the eye slits.
Okay, while they're distracted, Sherrilyn is going to try to dump out the liquid and then drop the empty vial as if she did drink it.
Sounds good. Roll me a sleight of hand check at advantage. That'll be versus their passive perception. We are looking for a solution for the waterway ourselves. Plato, roll me a persuasion check at advantage here. You might be exactly what we need.
So the first roll was an 8 and the second one was a nat 20.
Fuck yeah. You effortlessly chug it as it drops down your back over the shoulder. You're certain she didn't see as you throw the glass down.
I got a 13 and then another 19, and it's a +3, so 22.
I am open to a deal. Again, as I said, ending the water crisis is the Kingfisher's first priority. And if I'm completely honest with you, we lost almost all of our men in the crisis. What remains are mostly just messengers who are out delivering, very young. We're not the force we used to be just days ago.
Is this a good time to inquire about why there was a giant crab?
Feasts on the dead, scavenger, I'm sure. I heard it was very large. Do you happen to have any samples of its innards?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes. If it's a sample of something, Inara has it.
I am an alchemist by trade. They paid me quite a bit to serve them with potions and other things they might need. I've grown to like them. I'm second in charge now, after quite some time.
Alchemist. She beams at her, and then she'll go, well, as a fellow alchemist, you will understand. If I have a question, I must ask it. The water issue is the Kingfisher's priority. Why do they require hostages?
We are still in the process of resolving the issue, and the parties that have approached and made their way here successfully in the past, that we currently have with us, we are treating well, feeding and giving water to. However, we still have not solved the crisis itself. We will release them or find a safe way for them as soon as that is done. But for now, all assets must be given unto this priority.
Could you also drink one of those potions and repeat what you just said?
Absolutely not.
Of course not.
Good try, though, Inara says, and then she'll pull out one of the jars of goo, and she'll hold it in front, like clearly for the Dragonborn to see, and she goes, could we possibly trade this for entry?
I think the trade will have to give us quite a deal more than that, as she eyes over Plato.
If we can agree to conduct ourselves in civility, I would be happy to see to your water issue, and then we can discuss further accommodations, perhaps.
Yes, maybe part of the accommodation should be that the sculptor who made a figurine of Plato not be involved in his captivity.
I don't know, it was a rather fine likeness.
She looks pretty sad. He was playing cards when it happened.
One of those that was lost.
She looks down. I was in my
What
lab.
happened? How did they end up like that?
The gate opens. She still has her hand out for the goo. As the gate opens. Like her eyes are looking at Plato, she holds her hand out towards Inara.
Inara hands over the goo.
It is respectful to exchange goo when beginning a negotiation.
For alchemists, anyway. But she looks to Plato, she goes, you never did discover what caused the death of the people in there.
I know exactly what caused the death of everybody in there.
Well, let's hear it.
Maybe it's best if you see for yourself.
Is it gonna suck all the water out of me? Because then perhaps we could discuss first
No, we have stabilized it. For the time being.
Feels like more of a maybe than a no, but yeah, let's go see.
As you all make your way through this crystalline cavern, the blue crystal almost blinding as it begins to surround you in its entirety, the walls, the floor, the ceiling, all of it, this one material, as you walk through for quite a ways. As you approach, there are two young children, again, 14, 15. One of them is the Tabaxi girl that you saw. Both of them have loaded crossbows that they're very nervously having their finger hovering over the trigger.
Mistress Silva, Alchemist Silva of the Kingfishers, is currently escorting you all through a large chamber. Plato, you can tell by the structure of the chamber and its outward design, it mirrors others that use similar pulley mechanisms to as counterweights, all built by the warden. As you see, this chamber is housed to a feeding pool. And you immediately realize that something is wrong, as the massive central space of this metallic chamber filled with these blue crystals should be filled with water. But at present, there is a large empty gap that descends down for as far as the eye can see. You see above that a singular man, obviously exhausted, his whole body kind of bent over in a standing position. A massive, ugly-looking metallic scepter, fat around the brim, held in both hands above him. Above that is a massive, raging waterfall, one of the core centers of the waterfall that makes Netter's Rally its home, is feeding directly into the scepter, not a single drop falling beneath the headline of this man. Also within this space are guardsmen, dressed to the nines in their full guard uniform. They're kind of gathered together. Two of them look wounded. Standing over them, tied to a wall, you see is Bennett, the current captain of the guard of Netter's Rally. In addition, there are a few Kingfishers within this space. They are very young to the eye. As your eye scans them, the Dragonborn woman is by far the oldest in the room. Even Rory appears very young, the man who is holding this waterfall. Outside of that, there is a group of 3 to 4 other Kingfishers who all appear about 15, 16 in age. You also get a clear sight at the Tabaxi girl, who is looking at you all with fear as the Dragonborn Alchemist, Silva, escorts you all throughout this chamber. The situation is quite dire. As you can see, he activated the stolen relic. It took the lifeblood of almost all of the Kingfishers. We recalled the young messengers. We're going to send out a message to flee to any Kingfisher that remains. But whatever you all can do. Sherrilyn, as your eyes sweep across, you do recognize one familiar face, the young Paradis girl, who was sat next to you at the show of the Samar sisters, numbers among the young messengers who seem gathered around a table, currently eating and drinking with speed as they stop and eye you all nervously as you enter this space.
I also wanted to ask, as we see Bennett, we're under the assumption that he was injured by at least one of the traps earlier. What does his condition look like?
As you eye him over, even with your passive perception, one of his legs is hurt, as you can see him kind of slouching to one side. But his entire focus seems on the two men before him who look injured. He seems to be actively bandaging them and caring for them. As his eyes go to you all, you see just joy and hope cover his face as he eyes Plato. And then you all. He kind of taps the shoulder of one of the men who looks worse off, trying to get him to open his eyes and look at you all as you enter the space.
This is too many children. Whatever message you want to send, I would suggest you send it out. Creatures that was in the previous room, we have taken care of it.
Those things are not easy to kill. Even scaring it off requires a great amount of work. We are in your debt. Messengers of the Kingfishers, as soon as you finish your meal and work quickly, you are to depart. Find any more remaining of our order and have them flee this city. The Kingfishers are over. You see some disbelief kind of among these young children, all looking towards each other and then towards you all.
Well, don't be so hasty.
Almost all of the fighting men are dead. I do not think we can go on. You hear with great strain come across the room on the far side, fighting against the sound of the waterfall falling above him. It is the right thing to do.
You are Rory. I look over to him. Plato has just sort of been looking at like the water above, like the torrent of water, kind of with like the look of an engineer. And then he looks back at Silva and says, your ideals were pure. They seek to speak for the people. They seek to mitigate the effects of the upper class. These ideals should not be forgotten due to this downfall. Just backwards,
this tragedy. We will see your voice heard, but first we must deal with your maintenance issue.
If you are resolved to be involved, I could take the children and escape.
I look over at Rory and then at Sherrilyn is trustworthy. She could lead them out to safety, away from this. I suppose I will have to speak with Rory about the situation, but I think there's something we can do. And he rolls up the sleeve on his shirt of the pirate coat because he can't bring himself to tear the sleeve off the pirate coat. And also, I think it's magic, so it might just come back anyway based on how magic items work. So he just pushes that sleeve up.
Yeah, give me a persuasion check with advantage from Sherrilyn's help action here.
First one was a 16 on the dice, plus 3, 19.
Yeah, with that, Madame Silva goes, okay, there is another way out. Attached to the common room, on the far left upper side, there is an altar. The third candle to the right. Pull it towards you. This is important. Towards you. We have sealed the latch. You will have to smash through it. But after this, crawl up. The tunnel leads right to the bank, the back rooms.
You have a tunnel into the bank.
It's owned by a friend of ours. They allowed us a safe passage.
It shall be done. Does anyone need being carried out?
Inara looks towards the injured guards, especially Venet, who you said was slouching to one side, and she goes, maybe the injured men can accompany you. It would be good to have other adults, and the children can help support them.
This is true.
Lay him flat on a bunch of kids. Hup, 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 hup.
He may be strong, but I am not strong enough to carry him, surely. I know my limitations.
I'm sure if I could find a large enough stick, we could fashion some kind of walking stick to help him.
Perhaps, Sherrilyn, you could go speak with Venet, or maybe we all should beforehand. I loathe to leave Rory too long. He does look weak.
Then let's be quick about it.
Let us, yes. I will make the introduction. Something I can do before he smiles at you. Whatever happens, happens. And we'll, I think, go over to Venet and the soldiers, or the guards that are there.
Yeah, absolutely. As you approach, he kind of falls to one knee, and at first you think he's bowing to you, and you realize no, he actually just lost stabilization on that leg as he was turning, as it seems not as solid. Do you actually see a large, like, as his pants come his pantaloons come tight around his leg for a moment? You see that a large chunk of the rock that makes up that appendage has been carved off or chunked off by some sort of large blunt force, and he does not seem able to stand. He looks towards you all as you approach. Who sent for you?
Aoife. Says Rally in general. The tragedy of a not working maintenance system. Take your pick. It's nice to see you again, Venet. I think we met once. You operated in the Highlands. I hope you are still keeping a weather eye.
Sherrilyn stoops to offer him help, rising back to his feet.
He takes it. This man weighs so much more than you thought he did. I need a strength check as he kind of leans on you without thinking for a moment, trying to get back to his feet. His many tons of weight that he seems to be made of in this moment kind of strains against your hand.
Oh, easy. 13.
Yeah, you're strong. Yeah, he counterbalances against it and then uses your hand and lifts himself up. 2 of my men will need to be carried. I can bring one myself. You're really just gonna let us go? He says, with a loud timbre in the same general direction of both Rory and the Alchemist, unsure. Rory doesn't respond. He looks incredibly weak. His eyes kind of bulging, his skin bloating, filled with water, his whole body pruned over. The alchemist is pulling out 4 vials that look like they're made of this green kind of bubbling liquid. For the handcuffs, we don't have any keys. You're going to have to burn them off. Yes, they're free to go, I guess. We apologize. Venet responds. It's not. That's not good enough. Sir Plato, he is responsible for the death of at least 50 men, including 2 of my own agents. He cannot be allowed to leave here, not in chains.
I'm sorry, who said this?
Venet, looking over at Rory.
Is this the appropriate reception to being offered an escape?
My duty is my obligation. My men should leave, but I must stay to make sure he sees justice.
Inara steps up and looks at Rory, who, like you said, looks to be in a lot of pain, and she goes, I feel like he has paid a big enough price and continues to do so, she indicates to his condition.
I'm sorry that I'm not familiar.
She holds out a hand and goes, Inara, nice to meet you.
He kisses it, his stone lips cold to the touch. Where are you from, Lady Inara?
Luxoria. Have you been?
Yes, I have, once or twice. Question for you. If there was a bandit who went across the desert side and killed young men, and somehow, some way, the captain of your guard allowed that man to get to 50 young men killed, would your guard captain let him go?
If that man risked his life to stop what is clearly some kind of abomination from happening, then that would be taken into consideration.
I fear there is some context missing from this tale. She's offering Plato the benefit of the doubt in this moment. And why did he kill 50 men?
The alchemist comes forth, starts burning off the handcuffs with the acid. It was an accident. I was present. We were going over our spoils, the stolen relics from the vault, the stopwatch that stopped time. That's how we were able to get them captive. The box that creates needed things, and the warden's scepter. When he attuned to it, when he was finished, it drained all around him of their lifeblood. Very quickly, he ran to this, hoping that the water would suscept for the blood. It continues to feed unending.
Surely there are policies in place for magical accidents. There's a major magical university nearby. I think there is reason to bring Rory back to Aoife, to the Mage Tower, and to the university to stand first a investigation, and then after that an arbitration would be appropriate. I think that is the least Rory could do if we are to save his life. At the very least, it looks like he will not be fighting back. But did you say you have a cask that makes endless water and a stopwatch that stops time?
The alchemist points towards the young tabaxi girl, whose stopwatch dangles from her belt, and then to a pretty small sized chest that is on her alchemy table. It looks pretty ordinary, kind of wood, almost like plank-like materials kind of hatched together.
More stolen items?
The relics, but I was wondering if maybe there's a way that they could work together to help us mitigate the problems, the situation with the Warden Scepter. Time can be slowed. We may be allowed fractions of a second of grace when manipulating the scepter itself. If the cask can create water, we might be able to produce in a moment a large amount when we make the transfer over. When I take it.
The cask is unpredictable, she says, her eyes kind of looking over at it. It's supposed to give you something you need, but so far it's mostly just made mundane items, carrots, foodstuffs.
Okay, less useful. But I don't know, maybe on a last-ditch effort, someone can throw it at me and suddenly a bunch of blood will fly out of it. Magic is so unpredictable.
I'll throw it immediately.
Would blood come out of the cask only if blood was the thing that you needed?
We said the scepter feeded on blood. If I suddenly needed a lot of blood, I feel like maybe that would just whoosh out of the cask. Like I said, magic.
You should try opening it, see what it creates.
As I always say, Inara, why don't you go first?
He hops on over. Does it matter what item you think of when you open it?
Let's try. Think wet.
Wet.
Does not seem very helpful. I don't think it's going to narrow down the result.
I'm gonna try anyway. I like this wet, she says as she approaches the cask.
Yeah, did you open it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There, as you open it, the cask shakes just a tiny bit, and you can hear the sound of something glass kind of hitting against the sides. As you open it, there is a pristine, beautiful glass vial with a cork, like a stopper cork. Nothing inside of it whatsoever. Just an empty, beautiful, seemingly unused glass vial.
Eyes light up. You can never have too many vials. As an alchemist, and she pulls it out, and then after a moment realizes this isn't wet.
Indeed, that is not wet. There is not even liquid in that bottle.
Oh, I mean,
So no correlation there.
She'll uncork it and turn it over to see if it's some kind of magical vial that produces wetness. Anything happen?
The vial gets flipped over. Nothing else, though.
I tried.
Looks like an excellent vial, I suppose.
Wait. Let me try.
Don't bother thinking wet, she says as she steps away.
I'm going to be much more specific. I'm going to be thinking wine.
Yeah, Inara, do you shut the cask?
Yeah, she will, and then steps away so as not to interfere with Sherrilyn's attempt.
Do you take the vial?
Absolutely.
Sounds good. Yeah, Sherrilyn, you go to the cask, you open it.
Yes, and in her mind, she is holding on to the taste of that Medean wine that she had with Winter's troop.
It's very heavy, the lid of it. You have a bottle of that back in the cart too. It's very heavy as you try to open the top of the chest here. It requires a lot of straining. Didn't seem that way for Nara, but as you do, and you kind of, the lid slams open once you get to the halfway. And inside is what looks like a small scrap of like white cloth.
What is this? And she tips it upside down and starts shaking it so that she can get out this cloth.
Yeah, it falls kind of dreamily down. You see all the messengers, they're getting their backpacks on, kind of collecting their stuff, having finished their meals, getting ready to go. As the white cloth settles down, it kind of opens up a bit into a ring. It is a white satin blindfold.
Wonder what she needs that for. I want to play with the weird Freudian gachapon.
Go ahead. You actually are made of wet, so maybe that'll help.
I think that it plays more on the subconscious.
Plato, he's gonna approach the cask and open it. This whole time he's been like stretching his arm, and he's been trying to get it to get bigger. It sometimes does that when he casts spells. He can like put magic into it to try and make it sort of larger or stretchier. So he has like one sort of weirdly grotesquely swollen arm as he goes and opens the cask with his left hand.
Yeah, as you go to open the cask, it doesn't open to your touch, and you see on the seal there appears to be a small metal like prong, and you see a zigzag pattern ending in a clasp at the end.
What does that mean? I don't get a cool. Hey, I like tap on the the mechanism. Hey, what does that? I try to
move it.
Yeah, I try to open it again. Or
yeah. You move the prong along the pattern. It moves very easily to the end of it, just like a small zigzaggy snake across the front of it, and then the box unseals. As you hear the latch go loose.
What does that mean? Eek?
You see inside a small glass disc, like a thick glass disc attached to a small chain. It is a magnifying glass.
I thought it was Linux.
Monocle, but like a magnifying monocle.
Like a jeweler's loop.
Yeah, like a jeweler's loop. That's what I'm looking for. Inside is a jeweler's loop.
I'm glad we could get you there.
So that is what's the metal? Does it have like a
Yeah, it does.
detail?
Silver. It looks it looks like a polished, light colored metal. Hard to at first glance make it out.
Plato puts it up behind his glass lens and it looks very silly. We'll figure it out.
This doesn't bear significance to you?
Only that I like to look at things very closely. I see no other reason.
Inara will turn to Silva. Was that her name? Silva? So Inara turns to Silva and she goes, I thought you said this gives you the things you need.
Yeah, when we were arranging the heist and we looked through the list of relics, didn't that sound really good on paper? It's not just me. She says it is interesting though. And she's walking over to the table. You see, she kind of has her large bag. It's clinking with potions, and she's like, it kind of a neat little thing as she begins putting it into her bag.
I think the item takes it a bit too literally.
Strangely subjective items, that is definitely true. Well, that being said, Net, are you willing to let Rory stand the trials we suggested if we are able to get him free?
He has at this point over his left shoulder where the stronger leg is had one of his men, one of the thinner Aarakocra guards. He has over his left shoulder. As he looks, he snaps back to your attention, kind of focused on corralling them now that the wrist guard is broken through. She can't have that, he says, looking up at you all. Seeing her pocket that is a grand relic of Nether's rally. She can't just take that.
Silva, he does actually have a good point in that regard.
Pass it over.
Well, Venet, maybe let's also be more polite, huh? We can both meet each other here in the middle.
He is a criminal. He puts his stone hands to his face and kind of loses his grip on the man over his shoulder.
Well, a spy. Let's all be appropriate.
We've changed.
It seems to me a lot of people here are criminals.
We are the guards.
Look, you were given the chance to change. Let's provide Rory and these children the same opportunity. Come on.
Yeah, the messengers are all geared out, ready to go. Their messages gathered and
look at this little field trip's worth of children. Come on, you want to get them to safety.
You see the Paradis, the young girl, has absolutely avoided your gaze at all costs and is kind of actively hiding behind objects and other people. Rory is on his elbows and knees, kind of just staunched over, almost exhausted, underneath the waterfall.
I should go see to him.
And we will see to the injured and the children.
What do I do? Inara says, looking between the two of you, not knowing who she should help.
Well, I guess that's up to you, my lady.
But rather you not have the blood drained from you, my lady.
Doesn't sound pleasant, no. And after hesitating for a moment, because she does not like the idea of you going to deal with this on your own, she'll look at Plato and goes, I will trust you to come back in one piece, yes?
But Plato can't really meet her eye for a second. He doesn't know. He's not sure. But then he sort of smiles, and he says, I am like water. Michael, but if it takes me a long time to reconstitute, to recondense, to come back, whatever it is, and you see Francis before I do, tell him I will be sorry to miss him.
Hearing you talk like that actually makes her a little sad and shows on her face. So she will approach you and in a very genuine moment, she'll give you a really tight hug.
Yeah, he hugs you back.
Then she goes, "You'll tell him yourself," and goes towards Sherrilyn to help her with the field trip, apparently.
And remember, Mr. Ardavian, you are also made of water. And blood and water.
Thank you. I think, Sherrilyn. Protect them.
That is what I do.
I know.
Just to close a quick loop, as you're approaching Rory, Venet is still kind of staring daggers
At Silva, we should.
and you see Silva as she puts it down, the artifact back on the table, and says, of course, I turn it over to you all." And then she's just kind of plaintively taking the situation. And as you walk past Plato and head towards Rory, she very quickly reaches into her apron and downs a potion. And just a second later, you see her shimmer out of existence. And just a moment after that, and I actually think, Plato, you don't see this. Sorry, Inara and Sherrilyn, as you're all helping the guards to their feet and looking in between the two of them, you see her very quickly down this potion as her body becomes seems to shape out of existence. And a moment or two later, you all see the chest begin to lift into the air.
I'm guessing my passive perception is too low for this.
But Inara, Sherrilyn, with your current positioning, you do clock this.
How far away is she?
Just about 15 feet, 20 feet.
I'm going to lunge after her and try to grab her while invisible. I'm not sure where I'll be grabbing her, but I'll try.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an athletics check. It would usually be at disadvantage here because she is invisible. However, you have a very good sense of where she is because of the chest that's floating in the air. So it's going to be a straight check.
Well, I still only rolled a 5 + 2 for a 7.
7? Okay. I'll say she has disadvantage here because both of her hands are occupied. Ooh, that's a 7 on the first one, +2, and then a nat 1. It's disadvantage. Oh, yeah. Sherrilyn, you go to move and kind of lock down the chest, and you hear her try to dodge out of the way. And as you go to grab the chest out of the air, you realize you're fully around her. As you feel your arms come against the Dragonborn scales, she's like perfectly positioned in your grip accidentally here. As she tries to maneuver away, mispositions where she thinks you're going, and then just ends right up in your grasp.
Where do you think you're going with that?
You smell very nice.
Cheap tricks will not work on me. Put the chest down.
We'll give you 6,000 gold pieces if you let me go with the chest. She whispers.
I think you've mistaken my character. Well.
It's gonna... Oh, yeah. You see, as she becomes visible again in your grasp, she kicks against your leg, and just misses, hits the air, and like kind of falls down, dropping the chest. As she rolled very poorly there and does not get. As she kind of crumbles too. Venet throws over a pair of handcuffs that was near him. Please cuff her.
She catches the handcuffs with pleasure. Madam, if you put your hands behind your back. And you have 6,000 gold pieces on you. Please, put your hands behind your back.
I do. They paid me.
Can I insight check?
Yes.
I don't believe this for a second. Oh my god. Or maybe I might. I rolled a 5.
She seems to be telling the truth.
Where is this gold? She says, as she's beginning to like wrestle her arms behind her back and put the handcuffs on.
Take the gold and me captive. Plato is approaching Rory, kind of walking along the long side here to the waterfall along the side.
Well, it seems to me you don't have a choice in the matter. You'll just have to trust me.
It's well hidden. I can come back for it. God, I might have said too much.
Oh dear, well, it looks like everyone's coming this way.
All right, cuff me, whatever. I was just a working artisan. I'll get out of this. The council is very fair here.
A working artisan with 6,000 gold as she clicks the cuffs all the way shut.
Where's that number coming from? Who has 6,000 gold? She apparently has 6,000 gold pieces.
They like in Silva. I'm liking the many layers of Silva.
Help haul her to her feet.
The chest falls to the ground.
Who wants the chest?
Uh,
Other
Ben-
than
No.
her.
Inara will bend down and pick it up.
Bennett looks towards you. Just please make sure that gets back to Aoife. My hands are full, as you can see. He turns to Sherrilyn. Are you ready to lead the way? I am not strong enough to break that seal. You might have to do it.
Yes, I remember the instructions perfectly. I wrote them down.
Nice. Lead on. He's limping, but he's able to maintain his holding position on the wounded soldier above him.
How young is the youngest child here exactly?
As your eyes sweep the room, again, just for a moment, you spot the Paradis kind of hovering above someone's shoulder, who she connects eyes with you. Definitely her. As she swoops down behind this person to avoid your eye contact.
Well, if there's any little kids, she'll help carry them out. Otherwise, she's going to help support this wounded man who's accusing everyone of being a murderer.
Yeah, they all seem pretty capable themselves, but there's definitely some wounded soldiers that could use your help and support as they kind of limber out, opening
Sure,
the
I'll
passageway.
give them a shoulder.
Yeah, they left the gate wide open at the front here as they escorted you in, as you find it easy enough to leave if you are doing so.
She takes one last glance back into the cavern with Plato, and then she'll head out.
Plato, as you approach, do you wave or anything?
Oh, I think my back is to the exit. I'm just like listening to them leaving, not like wanting to look back, just focusing on Rory now. And I imagine that above me is there's just that huge waterfall disappearing, right? Like it's just becoming these two people, me, him, and this waterfall disappearing at the point of where we're.
There's a violent sound as this artifact takes in the water around it. It's like this massive vacuum-like suction with incredible force. It takes in all of the water above it as you see a man just defeated. The first thing you note on his hand, a large signet ring, iron signet ring symbolizing and signifying the Xenoff family.
Resist the urge to look at it with my new jeweler's loop. No, I look at it, and then I search his face. I knew Maximilian Zenoff, who was Waldo's father, and I hated him so much. And I, of course, think of Waldo's face, my memory of it, like every day, right? Any drawing or monograph that I have. So, do I recognize? Is there any like? Does he have the Zenoff nose or anything? Do you know what I mean?
An insight check?
I'm not insightful. Oh, cocked. Is going to be a 9, flat 9.
He doesn't look familiar to any Xenophs that you've known. Looking at him over, but he looks withered. He's been here for a while, holding whatever this force is at bay. His body pruned over, the ring kind of trapped now on his finger. He looks up at you, a sly smile crosses his face. What are you doing here, Prince of Perian?
Perian doesn't have princes anymore, Rory. I'm here to help you and the Kingfishers.
He cackles a bit, or tries to, but ends up getting some water that flows down as he moves his body. For just a second, the waterfall kind of crushing into him as he repositions the scepter.
I think it is funny, this irresponsible thing that you have done.
I think it's funny that you showed up to solve it. Fate. There's one good thing, perchance you will die.
Perhaps. I'm looking at him. He's like on the floor, right? He's not fully.
He's like beaten down.
Mm-hmm. Plato sits down and crosses his legs, just sort of straight back, crisscross applesauce, so he can sort of be on level with them. He stretches his neck again, and his arm like gets, he tries to just feeding these little bits of his sorcerer power into his arm the same way that he taught himself sending, like just focusing a little bit at a time until his will can move it where it needs to be, like against the pressure of water, right? Like into a salinated form. And he says, do you know, the warden had no right arm. They were struck by lightning, had it replaced. No one knows with what exactly, a medal, something. Does seem like fate, doesn't it, this item? I look over the staff that's in his hand. He said it's like ugly, right? There's like a bluntness to it, a practicality to it.
It looks kind of at first glance like a massive pipe in the shape of a wrench, but with a smaller head that's more scepter-like. But yeah, it's definitely whirring, like it is active in some way, shape, or form as you look it over.
Could never say the warden had great aesthetic sense. More of a practical designer, I would say. Brutalist in nature, but, efficient. I'm sure you don't want to hear this. I do have a question for you before I try to take the staff from you, if you would let me. If you'd let me try to die, Rory. Is Waldemar Zenoff alive?
A toothy grin spreads across his face. As much as he can, he lifts his hands. You don't know? That's what started all of this.
Tell me what I don't know, Rory. Tell me about Waldemar Zenoff.
Aoife is a great teacher. One of my favorite lessons was the day she taught me how to scry. I love it. Looking across great distances at your enemies, your foes. I did it often. Do you know that when one looks at you magically, Plato, they see your arm as normal? It is only now that I see this mutation, this abomination.
The cathedral gate casts out what is necessary, I suppose. This abomination is going to spare your life, Rory.
I scried on everybody. Look who fought to kill, eliminate. And for the dead ones, the response to the scribe was always the same. But when I went through the young Zenoff, it was different. I felt something blocking me. So I worked hard for many months, pulled my resources together, and I got something of theirs. As he looks towards the signet ring on his hand.
Tell me, did you go to Skollhopt?
Nods.
We'll need that back from you. And I'll take it.
Yeah. It is, his fingers and body is so filled with water that the ring is like locked on to his hand. It's kind of awkward as you try to get it off the finger. It's stuck a little bit.
As I do it, I reach with my water hand, and I will subtly cast the cantrip Shape Water and try to lessen the swelling within his hand, so that I can pull the ring off.
Yeah, absolutely. I will let that happen as the ring floats up through the water into your hand, your water hand.
It briefly, I think, orbits the elemental shard of water that's in there, and they kind of form like a little gravity.
Is your plan to take the scepter from me too?
Suppose it is. I would rather that you gave it over to me. I would rather that we saved the ideals of the Kingfishers together here.
He looks down at himself. I don't know what happens if I de-attune from it, and it will not stop drinking.
I will try and quench it. I can slow it, maybe. Slow the time around us, perhaps. Give us time to react to the magic. And, I can shape water, use what sorcery is left in me, force it into my arm, try and force my water into it. See if that quenches it.
His smile turns into a slight frown, kind of nipping at both sides of his mouth. You can try.
It is that or this thing, this thirsty thing, what gets dropped down to the bottom of this pool and Netta's rally is ruined, droughted. It is the only thing we can do. I put my hand on it with him.
Yeah, your hand kind of wraps around the large, thicker scepter as base of it as you feel the kind of coarse metal. It's not like a super comfortable object to hold as you wrap your hand around it.
And I'm gonna try to use my I have 2 sorcery points left. I'm gonna try to use them, and I think the slow spell, a 3rd level spell slot. This is my magical technique for how I'm approaching this. To try and slow down whatever spell or magical effect is being cast by the scepter to like even to a fraction of a second, and then at the same time use my sorcery points to try and fully encase it in the water of my arm.
Yeah. It's going to take an hour or so to complete this full magical process, but that sounds like a good setup for how you're doing it. As the slow takes hold, you see the scepter. It kind of had this loud buzz, and the buzz seems to slow down in response to it. As
Oh, Rory, what did you see? What did you push through? Where are they?
they lead men.
They have always led men, whether they wanted to or not.
They deserve nothing after what their family did. You see him obviously trying to get up the energy to spit, but he can't. Whatever liquid that he had in him has also been drained by this. Commander, at the Temple of the Friend. It took many scries to catch them with their visor up. I saw their reflection in the water.
Oh, and just to reiterate the dread that fills Plato, that means that they're hollowed out. I have no other way to describe it. That they're under the friend style contracts that take away your identity.